Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar high. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope all is well. Hope you already learned about some money. Let's talk money. Normally we talking about different stuff. But I guess the question of the day is if you could invest in any company throughout history, from the very beginning of that company, what company would you invest in to give you the best rate of return? Okay. A lot of people think they know the answer, but I'm here to tell you, you are wrong. Now, I study money, I study different companies, I study the trajectory of the growth of companies. And for a while, I sat back and thought about it and I say, damn, what is the answer to this question? And I thought was like some older companies. I thought like Coca-Cola. I thought um, Ford. I thought all these other, some of these older companies, General Electric, they've been around for 75 years. But there's a company that you could invest in as soon as this became like a known thing that will blow out all the returns of any company through history. And a lot of people always say stuff like, I don't know, Bitcoin or Nvidia. A lot of people will say stuff like P&G, which makes, toilet paper, tissue, toothpaste, and that type of stuff. A lot of people say Coca-Cola. A lot of people say, you know, all of Johnson and Johnson, Microsoft, Amazon, Walmart, and you're not even in the ballpark. I'll give you one hint. You use multiple products in this business every single day. You use multiple products in this business every day. So, let you know that regardless, you're not going to think of it initially. It just doesn't come to you. And then when I say the answer, you're gonna be like, "Oh man, that's some bull crap." Oh man, I'm gonna just let y'all sweat it out for a little bit. Somebody said Apple. No, it is not Apple. A lot of people think it's Apple. Apple's like fourth. I watched this documentary on it. That's the only reason I knew. And they said, you're thinking it's Walmart, you're thinking it's Apple, you're thinking it's Google, you're thinking it's all kinds of no, no. Right? It's been, and whenever this company came out, it was top of the list, and it's damn near top of the list every year for the last since it's been out. It might not make as much money as you think it should, but it's still pumping some units out, more so than any of that other stuff. Starbucks is not a publicly traded company, right? Someone says shoes, no. Wi-Fi, no. Who owns Wi-Fi and who owns soap? P&G, Procter and Gamble owns a lot of soap products, so it's not P&G. It's not soap. It's not. Someone said teeth, toothpaste. P&G owns Colgate, Crest, and Oral-B. P&G is one of my favorite companies. It's always doing great numbers. So, no, that ain't it either. JP Morgan, that's a great answer. So now you're going on to the financial side. Somebody said JP Morgan. So you can go like JP Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. No. It's crazy. It's just a crazy thought, right? I almost don't want to talk about this subject no more, but someone said Rothschild Corp. Exxon Mobil. Nope. Um, say if you have a Tesla. Do you use oil in your Tesla? Do you use gas in your Tesla? No. I'm gonna say it again, and then I'm gonna have to move on subjects because I got stuff. Can you coach me? I'm 22. Yes. Click the link in the bio, join the free class. One will be starting real soon, sooner than you think. So go get it started, go sign up, and then we can go from there. Batteries, no, not you don't use batteries every day, right? You might use a remote control, but multiple products. You use multiple products from this company every day. Multiple. Okay? I'll even give you another hint. I'm gonna see if I can find something that's right near me that's sold in this in this store. I think I bought this there. Someone said plastic. No one owns plastic. No, it's a physical store. You can go there. No, you don't go to Best Buy every day. You don't go to the Dollar Tree every day. You don't go to Target every day. You don't go to. I have nothing in this house from Target. I have nothing in this house from Best Buy. Right? I just want to keep doing this to let y'all sweat it out. The gas station. No, you go to gas station every day. I guess you technically you use gas every day, but you don't. Say if you sat in the house all day. I put like this. Right now, GG, the majority of you, actually 99% of all of y'all, I'm streaming live on multiple social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, to another Instagram account, TikTok, and LinkedIn. 99%, 0.99% of people are using multiple products from this company right now. Gas station, no. T-Mobile, no. What if I got AT&T? Verizon, no. Google, what product from Google I'm using multiple products right now? I'm gonna give you another hint. Dude, it's literally 15 things in this room that I can buy there. Procter & Gamble data? No. All right, man. I'm done with this. So let's talk about y'all getting y'all stuff together. Hey, man, Instagram bumping, man. I appreciate y'all for being here. But y'all got to start turning y'all long-term money to short-term money to long-term money, man. Y'all got to start investing in the long game. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer, right? Because I don't want to sit on here and talk about this all day because y'all just keep spamming the damn chat. Okay, I'll give you a hint. The company founder is the owner of the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, there's your hint. You can Google that. Who owns the Atlanta Falcons? What company did he start? There's your answer. The answer is, check my volume. You check your volume. Everybody else can hear me. You probably got to go out and come back in. The answer, my friends, is Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank founded a company called Amazon. Not Amazon, shit. Home Depot. Home Depot, if you invested in it at the beginning of it, when it first came out, you will have statistically, like if you took $10,000 at the beginning of every company, like, hey, the beginning of Home Depot's here. Here you go. Here's $10,000. You do every company: Amazon, NVIDIA, Procter & Gamble, Walmart, Amazon, Google, all of it. Home Depot. And I said the same thing. When I first heard that, I said, there's no way in hell. I said Walmart, Amazon, and Google and Apple have to be outperforming all of those companies, And then, that's what I thought. And then this was on a PBS documentary about money or something. So then I started looking. I sat back and just started doing some research. First of all, dude, they pretty much came at the housing boom. One and two, the dividend on Home Depot and the multipliers over time are nuts. It's insane. It's blowing all of that shit out the water. A lot of people don't think that, Home Depot has a crazy return. And then the crazy part about it, Home Depot is still top 20, 25 companies in the nation. And it's been like that since it opened up. Since they went public, they've been the top 20, 25 company. Wood, drywall, light bulbs, carpet, hardwoods, flooring. That stuff's not going anywhere, people. Anywhere. Right? And then a lot of people, and then what's crazy is when I started saying everybody will use a product sold in this store, 99.9% of people, damn near, if you ain't homeless, if you own a home, rent a home, work in an office building, work in a some kind of enclosed shelter, that is products provided by more than likely Home Depot. Lowe's is not even close to Home Depot's numbers. I think something I think last year, and it's not even a booming year. I think it was because I looked it up, because I was like, how much more money is Lowe's making or less than Home Depot? I thought that was close. They're not even in the ballpark, right? Home Depot, Lowe's brings in about $700 to $800 million a year. $700 to $800 million. Home Depot is $6 billion a year. $6 billion compared to $700 million. It's not even close. So, I don't make the numbers. I don't make this rule. I always like to ask people that, because I always like to see what people's answer is. Probably in another month or two, I'm probably going to ask that same question again, just to get people, thinking outside the box. Because, whenever you think of traditional investing, a lot of people always gravitate towards the things that they see every day. Oh man, Google's everywhere. Tesla's everywhere. Apple's everywhere. Berkshire Hathaway, it worked with Warren Buffett, that type of stuff. Facebook's everywhere. But some of these old ass, slow, boring companies will make you financially rich. So, moral of the story, people, the longer you invest, the more likely you'll win. You just got to put your money in to start investing. So, what's happening there, everybody? What's going on? Mr. Richard here. Welcome to the Rich Get Richard. Thank you for watching. We're on streaming live on multiple social media platforms. Let me go ahead and get a view count, see what everybody checking in for. YouTube's in the house, Twitch in the house, Instagram was in the house. They was bumping 5 minutes ago and they fell off. It's all good. TikTok's always thick, but appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all pretty much ask me whatever y'all want, and if you find value in this, just make sure you follow, make sure you sub, make sure you like. I give two rules to my lives. Okay. One, actually 3 rules. If you on TikTok, tapping the screen for 15 seconds is your only price of admission. 1. So go ahead and get the tapping while I give you my rules. Everybody already know. Tap the screen. 2, second rule is YouTube pays me to be here. It's the only platform that pays me. I can have 100 people on Instagram and not a dime. So it helps me if you watch this. It's the same thing. Actually, I think it's a little clearer. It actually helps me, from watch time and stuff like that if you watch from Instagram. I mean from YouTube. So click the link in the bio and then join from YouTube. But wait a second. And the third thing is I host a free webinar. I host it every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Well, I try to do it every Wednesday, but stuff happens every once in a while. So I try to be there. But Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST. And if you're interested, you come through. We talk about credit, business funding. We talk about real estate, buying your property, buying investment property. We talk about business ownership. We talk about cash flow producing assets. We also talk about investing, IRAs, TSPs, index funds, mutual funds. We talk about all kind of stuff like that. And if you want to just sit there and just learn different ways on how to make money, and it's none of that crappy, scammy crap that a lot of people on here be talking about, hey man, you can get rich, get this money glitch and all this kind of crap. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work that fast and it don't work that easy, right? You're gonna have to put in some work, but if you do the work, you'll get results, because I have a lot of students that put in the work and now they're like, yo man, this is a lot easier than I thought. I just had to do it. I was kind of scared. I was fearful. I needed the right mindset. I needed the right coach. I needed some insight on what I was doing because I felt like I was just running in the mud. And if you want that type of stuff, that's why I'm here. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, okay, let's get started. Someone says, should I sell my house? More than likely, I don't know you or your situation, but more than likely, no. Right? The market is kind of softening now. 1, 2, and if you've had your house for 2 years, the last 2 years, or you've lived in it for 3 out of the 5 years, you won't have to pay capital gains tax when you sell it. But majority of people's houses are their biggest asset. I would probably try to refinance, depending on what your interest rate is. I don't know you. I don't know your situation. That's why I like to have one-on-ones with people to kind of break that stuff down. But I don't know your situation. But if you could refinance, get the equity out the property, and then just rent it out. If your rent can be covered by your new payment, then I would look at something like that, or even get a HELOC and then, rent it out and then use the HELOC to buy more properties and then rent them out too. So you're making cash flow from the rental property, or you can take the HELOC and then probably invest into like buying your own business or something. The cash flow from the business will pay for the HELOC. And then when the HELOC is paid off, then the cash flow is yours for the rest of your life. That's what I would lean towards. All right. What's your thoughts on Vanguard? Vanguard is a great company. It's probably one of the best for ETFs. I think Vanguard has been, what was it? I watched something. Vanguard is 3 of the world's biggest companies. I think BlackRock, Vanguard, and I think it's some Chinese, I forgot what it was. It wasn't Alibaba. It was some Chinese company. They're the 3 biggest companies in the world. Last I checked, Vanguard worth is nuts. Vanguard, it's comically, ridiculously big. And everything you ever like look on it and try to see what the evaluation of Vanguard is, it says $9.5 trillion. Right? I mean, come on, man. $9.5 trillion. So that company has the majority of investments in the nation. So that stuff's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, if you want to invest in any of those type of companies, that's one of the better ones. Hold on, I'm gonna mute my camera for a sec. I'm gonna let my dog out. He's getting on my nerves. But I'm still here. So yeah, you can continue to ask your questions. I just have to let this dog out because he gets on my nerves. He comes in here, he wants to hang out, and then he gets mad if you don't play with him, and then he'll be hollering to come back in 10 minutes. But we all have. If you had a dog before, you probably understand where I'm coming from. But that'll take a couple minutes. I said, Brandy, you're a fine girl. I have a couple of rentals. Good, that's awesome. And a house that's pulling from a HELOC. Should I use the equity or a trade line? Should I use an equity or a trade line? Your context for trade lines is wrong. You mean like go out and use like the bank's money? If you want to go out and use the bank's money, that's not a trade line. That's like a line of credit. A trade line is something else. But the way I see things is I'm an options person. I like options. Okay, if I had a HELOC and I had a line of credit and I had multiple business credit cards, I mean, I would try to go for all of them. And I would take, if I take a line out on my 401k or stock portfolio. So now I have all these different pots to pick from, and whatever has the best interest or the best payment plan or the best way to pay back, then I would use those options, right? But if you can't get access to one or two of them, you still have the other two or three of them. So I would always try to utilize every option that I had. What are my thoughts on crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is okay depending on what you want to do with the money. And it depends on how you're raising money. I don't know if you're talking about crowdfunding to fund something else or crowdfunding as to fund your stuff. But in all honesty, you don't really even need to crowdfund. Most things that you're gonna do don't need a crowdfund. But that's just my personal opinion. But I mean, the majority is like, this kind of weird too, man. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but a lot of people are like, yo, man, I got this $1 million idea. I'm just like, oh, here we go. What do you need? Okay, what is it? I can't tell you. Sure, I'm sure you can't. Now, I get this every 2 months or every month for the last 20 years of my life, right? I have $1 million idea. Okay, what you got? Can't tell you. Okay, I need money for it. Okay, well, how much you think you need? I probably can do it for $10 million. I'm like, I'm sure you could, right? I need investors. Okay, no one's gonna give you $10 million without knowing your magical product. Well, if you sign an NDA, I'll tell it to you. Okay, you do not have like a patent or you not have like a product or anything like that. It's just like, huh? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do with crowdfunding, right? Some people want to raise capital for themselves and that kind of stuff. Someone said, should I pull out my 401k? No. You can borrow against your 401k. Why pull from it? This is okay. Here we go. Say you have 50,000 while in your 401k. You got two options. If you need the money, right? I need my $50,000, right? It's burning a hole in your pocket. The world's going to come to an end. If it ain't a bankruptcy or damn near a repossession, more than likely you don't need the money, right? I would almost disregard the repo. If it ain't a damn foreclosure on your house, you probably don't need the money, right? You just need to cut the fat, cut your living expenses, and get a side hustle. You can fix most problems in 6 months with that. I promise you. You're probably spending way more money than you need to be spending, right? Because your lifestyle, you think the lifestyle you have is the lifestyle you've earned or you need, and it's actually the exact opposite. You didn't earn shit. You're not owed anything, right? Like I work just as hard as everybody on here, and I probably live way, way below my means, right? If I showed you some of these bank accounts and how much money I bring in, you would be surprised. And then I show you my lifestyle, you'd be like, "What the fuck, man? Why don't you enjoy it? Why don't you?" No, 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 no. That ain't how it works, right? That's not how money works, right? Your money is supposed to be assuring that you and your family have a future, not your family and you have a lifestyle today. That's the game, people. Y'all looking at it weird, right? You think your check is supposed to cover today's expenses. Your check is supposed to fund tomorrow's lifestyle, not today, right? So your Netflix, your Hulu, your Amazon Prime, your eating out, your movie theater, your vacation, your overpriced BMW, your whack ass old school Mercedes. No, no, no. Fun tomorrow. No fun today. Oh, damn, I'm gonna get a t-shirt with that on it. More okay, so answer to your question. Do you pull out your 401k? No. If you have to have it, you can just go to the bank and the bank will give you a loan against your 401k if you needed one, right? I own a funding company. My funding company will give you money against your 401k if you have it. They'll give you 90% of the value of it at a decent interest rate. So you got 50,000. Wow, 90% of 50,000 is 45,000. Here's your check for 45,000. Your payment every month is, I don't know, $700 or whatever the fuck it is over the next 5 years at 8% or something like that. Like, damn, cool. I mean, and now your 401k is still drawing interest, that 10%, 11%, 12%, 14% every year while you're paying down the loan. And then one day when the loan's gone, that money's still in the account making money. And then if you take your 401k out, you got to pay taxes and you pay a penalty. You're going to lose 20% just in fees and taxes. So say if you got 50,000 while in the account, 20% of that is 10 grand. 10 grand. You have to take this money out and take a 10 grand penalty? No, people. You know, I had a really close family member did that. And I went off. I went off. I was like, no, what the hell, man? But people want to do what they want to do. People think they're good with money, but most people aren't. Not even close. I'll give it 10% of people are good with money. The other 90% of people, not even close. So let's say overall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 platforms that I'm streaming on. Say that there's comically about 150 people. I give it 10 to 15 people are decent with money. Right? I wouldn't even say good. I say decent. The rest of the 135 of y'all, not even close. Right? Not even close. 97,000 in your 401k? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How much is decent? They have like calculators which it'll tell you what age and net worth you should have. If you ever get bored, just go to those calculators and say, at my age, what should my net worth be? And a net worth is not adding up all your stuff and forgetting the debt. No, you need to add up all your things that you're worth and then subtract all the debt you have. And then there is your net worth. You know. Someone said I bring in 38,000 while a month. Boom. And they live off $4,000. True story. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. That's how it's supposed to be. Right? I mean, I don't even know my living expenses. It's not a lot. I'm probably at about 10 a month. About $10,000 a month. But I could probably live off of 1 month worth of income for the whole year. Actually, I know I could. So, I mean, that just lets you know, right? Live below your means. Do you need a Mac Daddy car? Do you need the latest jewelry and stuff and clothes and vacations? That's just cool, man. But once you get it and have it for a while, that shit gets boring. But it's all good. Delayed gratification. Do you think putting money into a 5% CD is low risk to way to put your money to work? Hold on, let me help you out. CDs are trash. You will get a better rate of return on a high yield savings account. So if you want to do that, I would go towards a high yield savings account. I wouldn't do CDs. High yield savings account, they get about 4 to 6, and you can put your money in and take it out. You put your CD in something, you get 5%, and it's locked. Normally CDs mature date is, year from now, 9 months from now, even 2 years from now. You want to lock your money into an account for 2 years to get 5% return? Come on, dog, that's trash. You can put that in a high yield savings account, and then if you need the money, you got access to it. He said invest in a particular fund at Vanguard. And I don't push products, but I will tell you, you need to invest. I don't tell people to invest in any particular thing. I have things I like to invest in, right? But you should be investing. And you can always reevaluate after you invest in something. A lot of people think that, oh, they're gonna put their money into this pot or put this money into something, and then it's just going to just be gone. It doesn't really work like that unless you're into something that's just horrible, crypto or day trading, forex trading, and all that kind of crap. Like I've known people say, "Yo, man, I got, I made 2,000% on my money forex trading." I was like, "Okay, cool, man. That's just not. It's not built for long-term investing. You're gonna lose your money after." After a long extended period of time, you're gonna lose. Nah, man, I think I got this thing figured out. 7 months later, hey man, how that forex doing? Man, fuck that. Yeah, I'm sure. And then it starts off like this. see what happened. See what happened is, right? I started off with 300. I flipped that. I had 1,800. Boom. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So I took the 1,800 and I put like half of it in. Right? So boom. I turned the 1,800 to like 3,400. Boom. Bam, bam. Did this play, called the shot. Did a put, did a stop loss. I called an option. Boom. Look at this. You see, look at my tail. Look at this tail right here. This was going to be a hit. So I said, yo, I'm putting a whole 3,500 on it. Man, I lost that shit. That shit at $200 now. What's a good amount to invest? Yes. A good amount to invest is yes. Okay? Whatever you can. Whatever you can invest that you won't miss. Whatever you can put into a pot and not worry about it being in there. I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to be cognizant that all things have risk, but I do want you to understand that you're doing it for a reason. And I'll meet people who are like gun ho, jump all the way into the well type mentality, right? And it's like teaching someone how to swim. If you're not comfortable in the water, I'm not just going to push you into the damn deep end. It doesn't work like that. You have to get comfortable doing stuff. I've had friends and buddies. I had one guy who said, "Yo, man, I'm ready to invest," and this was years ago, probably 10 years ago. Nah, this is like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. "Yo, man, I see you making a decent amount of money. I need to get started." Cool, let's start investing. And he was like, "How much do I need to invest?" I said, "Whatever you're comfortable with," because I try not to tell people a specific amount, just whatever you're comfortable with. Oh man, I'm going. I'm trying to be at the top. With that type of man. All right, cool. Let me put $2,000 in this account. I got 2,500 in my account. I'm gonna put $2,000 in it. Okay. And then after like a month and a half, he like, yo, man, this ain't making no money. I was like, yeah, bro, it's been a month. Man, I ain't feeling this. I don't like this. And it takes the money out. It's like throwing someone in the deep end of the pool. They don't they're gonna fall into the water and they're just gonna panic and they don't like it and they're gonna get out and they're never gonna swim again. Right. And then the bad part about it is that individual, maybe like 4, 5, 6 months ago, messaged me and said, you know, if I'd have kept that $2,000 in that account, I looked up how much it would be worth now. And I said, hey brother, how you been, man? All you gonna do is make me mad. I don't care. If I explain to you how to do something when it comes to your finances or come to finances or come to money or businesses or real estate, and I take my time out of my day to guide you or educate you on a certain process and you like shun it away, like I wrote you off. Like I don't care no more. Like I don't even want to talk about it because all you're gonna do is make me upset. Because the, one side of me just wants to educate you, and another side of me wants to get rid of the fear. And once I feel like I've got down that wall, and then you still resistive, it's a waste of my time after that. I don't even want to talk about it no more. Right? I don't want to hear woulda, coulda, shoulda. I don't want to hear about what I could have did 20 years ago. I don't care, man. I own so many stocks. I don't care if I sold this portfolio too early. Don't give a dang. What are you doing right now? What are you doing now? Well, see what happened. I got a little debt now. Well, I'm gonna pay off this debt, and then, okay. Now, I don't care what you're gonna do, and I don't care what you did. What are you doing now? If the answer is something about the future or something about the past, you can miss me with that shit. Don't want to hear. Don't care. I do not care. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. Tell me what you did, or tell me what you're doing. Simple as it gets, right? Someone said, "What's my the the money is in the long game, maybe the long game. What are my top 5 stocks? S&P 500. You can't go wrong with the S&P 500, right? I do have individual stocks. I don't really like to tell people what my individual stocks are because they perform better or worse. But if you invest in a good ETF, mutual fund, index fund, and they track generally the S&P 500, the Fortune 50, the Fortune 100, or the top 10 companies in America, you 99% chance can't lose. You know, if you've invested in the S&P 500, they did a study on this. Every 10 years as it adds up. So a 10-year gap, the 20-year gap, 30-year gap, 40-year gap, 50-year gap, 60-year gap, since the Great Depression. So pretty much since 90 years ago. If you invested 90 years ago, 80, 10, up until 10 years ago, in the S&P 500, the S&P stands for Standard & Poor's. It's the top 500 companies in America. If you invested 10 years ago to this date, 20 years ago to this date, 30 years to this date, you would have statistically never lost money. You would and now hear me out, right? When I say this, if you invested 10 years ago in the S&P 500, you would not have lost money. You would have made money. 20 years ago, made money. 30 years ago to today, made money. 40 years ago, made money. 50 years ago, made money. Meaning, if you invest pretty much in the growth of America, you make money. So when people say like, what's my favorite stocks? First of all, the one that makes money. And if I'm guaranteed kinda to make money since the Great Depression in investing in the S&P 500, why not? Right? You can't lose, right? And you can't do that with every stock. You can't say like, oh, Amazon has been up every year. No, it hasn't. Oh, Google has been up every year. No, it hasn't. Nvidia has been up every year. No, it hasn't. Disney been up every year. No, hell no. Disney ain't been up no every year. Coca-Cola's been up every year. Nope. Home Depot's been up every year. Nope. But the S&P 500, the top 500 stocks, as a whole, has been up or making money every 10-year gap. So where you put your money at? Let's be real. You know the answer. Can I give your take on Goldman Sachs 10,000 businesses? I don't even know what that is. I know what Goldman Sachs is. I don't know what the 10K businesses of. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Right? But Goldman Sachs, you know, Bicep, Chase, JP Morgan / Chase. I think Goldman Sachs is second to none, right? I think Chase is a little. JP Morgan ain't no joke, man. They are not any joke. But I don't understand what you're saying. If you want to ask it differently, we can, but I don't know what you're saying. Someone said I got $97,000 in a 401k. All right, man, you in there. Keep on pounding. Right? And then a lot of people without kind of guide people to do is challenge your status quo too. You know, if you have a 401k and your 401k is not, I would always check my performance of my 401k. If your 401k is not performing the way you feel it should, right? Then you can take your 401k and give it to another company. You know, so there's multiple companies that will take on your 401k or your IRA or your TSP and that type of stuff like that. It's your option. You can do it whatever you want. It's your money. Do it if you want, right? I'll just tell you like this: since the Great Depression, 1933, 34, whatever hell it was, the stock market has produced about 10.2% rate of return. So if your IRA, 401k, retirement for your job is not even in the damn double digits. Let's say if it's like 8.5, 9.5, some shit like that. Shake that shit, man. I was with a company a while back. It was like a default company I used when I was in the military, and I had them for like 4.5 years, and they was at like 9.2 or something. And I was like, I'm good, dog. Because 9.2 and 10.2 over years, that shit starts to add up a lot. Someone said, I was asking about crowdfunding because I want to buy a business and I want other investors to go there with me so I can lower my risk. Okay. Well, first of all, that's not really crowdfunding. That's more of a syndication. Syndication is when you pull a bunch of money from investors and you buy a venture that produces income. Crowdfunding or source funding is when you take a whole bunch of money from investors and they invest in your company and your product, or like not necessarily bootstrapping. It's another term too. I can't even think of it now. I'm drawing a blank. It's when you go and they buy your product early. Oh man, I can't even think of what that's called now. Can't even think of what that's called. But if you want to get into syndication, click the link in the bio, join the free class. I will tell you every way under the moon to get money from the banks, right? Here's one right here. Here's one right here. I need to go ahead and get this damn thing used. Right? Here's one right here. Boom. $30,000 worth of line of credit from the bank. Now, let's say if you go to Bank A, they give you 30. You go to Bank B, they give you 20. You go to Bank C, they give you 30. You go to Bank D, they give you 20. You raised $100,000 and you didn't even have to go to a person. Now you can take that $100,000 and buy some real estate. You want to put a down payment on a business. You want to start a business. You want to grow your business. And now you just owe a bank. Not a whole bunch of damn people. And if you go bankrupt to screw their money over, they're going to try to sue your ass. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it. And I can teach you how to raise capital from multiple banks. Right? Hit a card right here. I probably shouldn't have showed that, but I don't think you can do anything with it. You might can. I don't know. And I've raised millions of dollars worth of capital, people. Millions, 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 millions. Centurion Platinum card. Centurion Black card. Unlimited charge card. Wells Fargo Business Platinum, 50,000 wow. Navy Federal Business Platinum, $30,000. I'm literally holding, like I see people on Instagram that have like racks of money and they be rolling them like this. This is $1 million in my hand. I can fund anything in the world with this. Anything. Hell, I won't even use the platinum. Let's put that to the side. This Wells Fargo is 50 and this Navy Federal is 30. I see people take racks of money. Right? No, that's trash. Look. Here's the fucking money right here. People, here's the real money. 80,000 wow. You can get whatever you want. People got the game wrong, man. Y'all are doing this wrong. And the bad part about it is I get rewards to use it. So they're paying me to use that account. I bought something here recently and I had the cash for it. And it was like $25,000. And then I said, well, I can pay $25,000 in cash, or I can put $25,000 on my platinum card. That's going to give me 25,000 points. 25,000 points could pay for a round trip ticket to Paris. In points. So I slide my card, and when I get an invoice, I pay it off. So now I'm literally traveling for free. And then what's even crazier is you can take your points, transfer them over to other accounts that give you benefits from using, or like sister companies. Say if American Express is friends, or they're running a promotion with Hilton this month. Say if Hilton is offering double rewards. So I got 25,000 points. I got a Hilton that's going to double my points. So now instead of $25,000, I have 50,000. Well, shit. How's Morocco this time of year? Morocco, the hotel is $2,000 a night in points. I mean, shit, I got 50,000. I'll stay a week. Where else are we going in Europe? I ain't even use half of that. Just because instead of me paying for cash, I put it on my rewards card. Mind blowing. Yeah, it's not a fucking game. It is not a game. And all I do, and when I have my businesses and I have my real estate, like, hey, we have a roof leak. Well, how much roof cost? 10 grand. Here's my platinum card. Boop. Bill come in. I'm gonna have to pay it anyways. Boop. 10,000 points. 12,000 points. 400 points. 1,000 points. Just like today, 25,000 points. And then at the end of the year, when I have 250,000 points, here I come Paris, here I come Europe, here I come Japan, here I come India, here I come Africa. I think I have a trip planned to 3 countries in Africa, a European excursion. We want to go to Switzerland. We want to go skiing in Colorado. Last year, we did Hawaii. Hawaii took all of my points and some, right? Just the plane tickets for me, the wife, my 3 girls, my stepson, and his girlfriend. Them shits was like, shit was nuts. It was almost like 10,000 points. 10,000 points each. That was like 70,000 points just in travel or something like that, right? But, then we get to the hotel. We got the Mac Daddy Hotel overlooking the water. I made a video about it on TikTok, And then, it took a lot of my points. I'll tell you that damn much. But it is what it is. Then this year, we'll go to Europe. Next year, we'll go to Africa. Then we got to plan a trip to go to like Aspen during Christmas. And for how much? Boop. Goose egg. Right? But you got to learn the game, people. You got to learn the game. What is the smallest deal? Whatever you feel comfortable with. Like, there's no such thing as small. What is small is subjective. Your small and my small are 2 different things. If I did a real estate deal, like I tell you like this, I will sometimes turn down $10,000 deals. It's because it's not worth my time. If there's a lot of work required, it's a lot of moving parts, and it's like $10,000, then I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to spend a lot of time to make money. My time is valuable. Some people's time is not that valuable. So you can spend 8 hours a day for 2 or 3 weeks on a deal for $10,000. That's worth it to you. 8 hours a day, 3 weeks straight for 10 grand. I would lose my damn mind. I would go crazy. Right? But it's all relative to you. How much time, effort, energy do you want to devote to the deal? And once you start looking at it like that, you're like, well, damn, maybe I can make some of this stuff work out. Just got back from Jamaica. You better have your 401k right. Don't be telling me about no vacations unless you got your shit together, or you got a decent amount of income, or you got a decent amount of investments or income that paid for that trip. What is the best side hustle to start tomorrow? Couch flipping, free cycling, I call them like general lazy services. Pressure washing someone's house, window cleaning someone's house, doing someone's landscaping, doing someone's mowing someone's grass, car detailing. Those stuff is or car flipping, right? I think you have to be a dealer in some states to flip cars, But I think you get some states, well, the state I used to flip cars in when I was doing this, you can do 5 cars a year without a dealer's license. So say if I bought a car, this is the easiest way to do car flipping too, if you want to do this. All right. Super simple, right? You got to have a little money to do it, but you find cars, you put cars on Facebook Marketplace and you search $4,000 to $5,000 cars, right? And what you do is every car you see, lowball them. Half plus 100. 2,000, half, 2,000 plus 100, 2,100. Hey, I'll give you $2,100 for this car, cash. I can come pick it up tomorrow. Right? You message 100 people. 95 of them tell you to fuck off. 5 of them won't. And then you find out their vice. Oh, you can come get it tomorrow? Cool. Okay, real quick, why are you selling the car? Man, I'm going to jail. Man, my license got suspended. I can't drive no more. Man, I had a illness in the family and I need the money back. Man, I owe Bookie some money. They finna come whoop my ass. Right? You find out that vice, you got their ass. You take that car, it was $4,200. You paid $2,100, and they say, yo, can you come up to 22? Cool. You don't give a shit, right? You still finna make out. You take that shit to AutoZone, put some new floor mats in it, put some smell good in there, get some Armor All, clean the tires, take it to the car wash. You probably spend another $300. You all in $2,500. You take that shit, put it right back on Facebook Marketplace for $5K. Someone's gonna say, yo, you to take 4, I'll take $4,500. Cool. What about $4,250? Deal. Wow, you just made $1,750. Without a dealer's license, you can do it 5 times a year. 7,500 times 5 is almost 8,000. Wow. But hey, what the hell do I know, right? Maybe some of this stuff works. Maybe it don't. Who knows? I don't know. Watermelon sugar. Hi. How do I learn? How do I learn? Click the link in the bio, Holmes. We have a free class coming up here soon. Link is in the bio. It's Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST. If you're interested, come sign up. It's free. What you doing for an hour instead of learning about money? Right? It's actually pretty good too. Take notes, bring your stuff. Did I say recycling? No, free cycling. Taking free shit and selling to someone else. I'll give you this one too, real quick. Go to Facebook, search free, pick it up, put it right back on there for a price plus delivery. Sell it to someone else. It's free cycling. That works, Mr. Richard? Fuck yeah, it works. Especially if you start getting some good shit. Furniture, couches. You'd be surprised what people will give away for free when they're moving or someone died or someone got a divorce or who knows. I don't care. You're taking advantage of people when they're down. No, I'm just taking advantage, right? I'm a capitalist, right? You should be a capitalist too. If someone came to you off the street and they were selling you $1,000 TV for $200, you say, no, I don't want to take advantage of anybody. No, man, give me the damn TV, $200. I'm gonna sell someone else for $5. That's what the spirit of the entrepreneur is. If you don't want to do it, somebody else will, because I will. Moving my money to 2060 TSP. Yeah, you should be. So TSP is my bread and butter, brother. TSP is my bread and butter. So TSP, if you wanted to life cycle fund 2060, G is actually doing good. I would go with CNS, probably in Domoda. I would do like 5% G, CNS, and split everything else up between CS and 20. 20, 2060. And then they match up to 5%. They give you 40%. They give you 4% on your 5%. So you get 80% return on your dollar just by putting it in there. So um, that's automatic free money right there. And then ride it out. And then if you want to, whenever you retire from your government service, if you want to transfer it over to like a Fidelity, Vanguard, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, or something like that, you can, or you can just leave it in the account. But that's on you. Something else too, whenever you're out of military service and you take a loan against your TSP, that money will be considered income. So just letting you know, please make sure you pay off your TSP loans before you get out the service. The Michael Hill. Why did you buy followers? Michael Hill, do we have these same conversations every day? Thank you. We said the same thing yesterday, man. And then also I want to give, since we're talking about like fake followers and fake accounts or whatever the hell we're talking about, there's only one of me. If you get a spam message from account, man, these hustlers be hustling. They will make fake accounts. They will have my profile. They will have all my links and looking legit. They'll send you DMs saying, hey, I got this new investment. It's this new crypto that's coming out. Do you want to invest in it? Send me some money. Yo, it ain't me. I'm not going to ask you to invest in any damn crypto. I'm not even a crypto guy. I got like three, maybe four crypto, and I'm just riding them out and seeing how this thing plays out. It's not even my thing. So I will never tell you to do anything. The only reason I hold a free webinar on Wednesday because you physically see me talking, right? Not a robot. You physically see me talking. That's why I do it like that, because people who want to learn more about these type of services, you can physically see me talking. I interact with you, not over a text message or some shit like that. And I'm not going to ask you to send me some, $200 for some random new startup or some crap. That's not even worth my time, right? I'm not going to be DMing people for $100. It's just, I don't have that kind of time, right? My team don't, right? I don't need, your money. And then I know some people will message me and tell me, you ripped me off. And I was like, yo, bro, I don't even know who you are. And I almost feel bad for them. One side of me just wants to give them the money back. But I know that people will just come to me and say, hey, man, you ripped me off. And there's no way I can prove that I didn't. And one side of me just wants to give you the money because I don't need it. $300, $500, that's nothing to me. And I'm not trying to say like I'm bragging. It's just your $500 in that regard is not worth my time, right? I almost want to give it back to you just because I feel bad, but just be careful out there because it's not me, And I would give it back, but I just can't because people just come to me and just tell me they got ripped off and I can't verify it. You know what I mean? So please just, Mr. Richard driving bars. Always. Always, always, always. What's happening, everybody? So price of admission here is likes. If you're not following, make sure you follow, right? I'll sit here and talk all day if you want me to, but I do have some requirements. If you are on here and you find a value in some of this stuff, please make sure you follow. If you on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Everywhere else, make sure you follow. If you're on TikTok, just tap the screen for 15 seconds. It's your price of admission. Let's get these likes up and we can go ahead and get started. You reading comments? No. Not yours. No, I'm reading, man. I don't see them all. They go pretty fast. How much do I charge for consultation? Like it varies. I don't know what kind of consultation you want. Do you want to just talk on the phone? Do you want to meet every week in a mentorship? Do you want a one-on-one coaching? Do you want text my team? Do you want tax advice or tax guidance? Do you want to raise capital from the banks? Do you want your credit work? I mean, it's all different types of stuff. But if you do, like I said, a free class Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check your time and say, wow, I ain't doing nothing that time. I'll go ahead and check it out. And then we kind of go from there. If you want to, whatever subject you want to talk about, we'll talk about it. And if you don't, then that's fine. I mean, I just, people ask. I try to not say the same stuff over and over again, though. Someone said, I'm selling a land deal and doing a 1031 exchange. Thank you for all the advice. Well, I don't give advice because I'm not a financial advisor. However, I probably advise you to sell your land deal and you don't live on land. I wonder how that would work. To do it, if you live in a house, maybe you don't do it with land. If you live in a house for 2 years, you don't have to pay capital gains tax. But if you live in a house for 3 of the 5 years, you don't have to pay capital gains tax either. But if you have an investment property that you never lived in, and you sell that property, let's say you owe, you say if you made $200,000 on that deal, right? You're gonna have to pay capital gains tax on the profit of that deal. And let's say you profited $200,000, capital gains tax on that is like 28% of some crap. So we're talking 30% of your. I'll make it easy. I'll say 25% of your money is going to taxes. So $200,000 at 25% is 50,000, right? Who the want to pay 50,000 on to the IRS? So a way to alleviate that is to do what's called a 1031 exchange, meaning you roll your profits into another property and it defers capital gains. So, for example, you sell that $200,000 property. Now you owe $50,000 worth of taxes or capital gains. If you take the $200,000 and you put it down on another property, then your tax liability or the capital gains is waived until you sell that property. But just keep it and refinance or give it to your kids and they don't have to pay capital gains tax when they sell it. That's a whole nother chapter though. But you don't have to pay capital gains tax if you just roll into another property. So, right? But you can't. So I guess when he sold that property, you can't live in property or on the property. You just don't live there without a house. So now he sold his property and he has to do a 1031 exchange to alleviate taxes. So he was telling me thank you for that. I didn't give him any advice. I just said what I would do if that was me. All these scenarios are just what I would do. I'm just a random guy on the internet. You know what I mean? So, what's your thoughts on being debt free? Uh-oh, you better not be talking about some Dave Ramsey. I don't want to hear that crap. Debt free is cool if you want to be broke. Debt free doesn't make you any money. Not having any debt doesn't give you financial freedom. All right, so let's truly think about it. Let's say if there's an individual, I'm gonna give you two scenarios. One person has a shit ton of debt and the other person has no debt. Okay, and we'll see how their life pans out. One person has no debt, so they don't own a house, so they're not getting equity in their home, so they rent $2,000 a month. They own a car, but it's paid off. Okay. They have no credit cards. It's no debt. And they don't own real estate. They don't own investment properties unless they bought them cash, which no one's buying houses cash like that, right? You more likely got to go into debt to buy any properties nowadays. They're fucking too expensive, right? Unless you find the right ones, right? Now that individual makes $50,000 a year, so he pays $2,000 for his apartment. He has a paid off car, and he has no credit card. So in theory, he could take probably half of his paycheck because he really doesn't. He can take a lot of his money and invest that money, right? And over time, if he invested into a fund that tracks the S&P 500, he will make 10 little over 10% interest every year. Okay. So long term, 30, 40 years down the road, having no debt can pay off. So let's do the same thing, but with debt. Okay. So you bought that's another guy bought his house. Let's say his house payment is $2,000, right? He bought a $200,000 house. His payment is $2,000. After 30 years, that $200,000 house, 30 years, will probably be close to about $600,000. Okay? So now the house is paid off after 30 years. Now a paid off house is worth $600,000. So just off the home purchase versus renting, you make out, because now you're not giving your money away, you're building equity, and your house value increases, and there's tax benefits. All right, so let's say he bought a car. Let's say the car is worth 40 grand and he pays $1,000 a month. I don't know, $500 a month. I don't damn know what cars cost. I don't know. But that's $500 in debt every month. But he probably has a nicer car than the guy who bought this car for cash. Okay. So now he wanted to invest in more real estate. So let's say he found another investment property and it was $100,000. He puts 20% down. So now that investment property pays him a rent check. His PITA, property taxes, interest, insurance on that rental property that he paid $100,000 for is worth is at $600, but he rents it out for 12. So now he makes $600 a month on that property. So let's say he kept that for 30 years, just one rental property with debt. He made $600 a month, which every month, that's $7,200. Over 30 years, that's $216,000. One rental property has made him over 30 years $216,000. You bought the house for $100,000, and let's say in 30 years, it's worth $300,000. So now your $200,000 house is worth $600,000. Your $100,000 house is worth $300,000. Now you have $900,000 worth of equity in two homes, and both of them paid off now, plus the $216,000 you got from rent. So now you have a net worth of $1.16 million in two properties in rent and owning two properties. And that's what's crazy about it is I charged you $1,200 for 30 years. You think 30 years, $1,200, a house right now that rents for $1,200, in 30 years from now will be renting for $1,200. I'll wait. No. But you know what's going to stay the same? Your house payment. 30 years from now, you buy a house, $200,000 house, you're paying $2,000. 30 years from now, you know what your house is going to be? $2,000. The guy who rented, he paid $2,000 a month with no debt. You think 30 years from now, his rent going to still be $2,000? No. It's probably going to be close to $4,000. So not only is he losing money trying to be cheap, he's also losing equity from the house he built, the two houses he has, and now his rent roll goes from $1,200, $1,400, $1,500, $1,700, $2,000, whatever the hell it is. So now he's making more money. So he'll, in theory, will make more money than $216,000. It's probably closer to $300,000. So now you're at $1.2 million worth of assets because you have no debt. You might have a paid off car, but that paid off car ain't gonna be worth no $1.2 million. right? And then the money you're saving, not getting into debt, you're gonna spend it on rent. So I tell everybody, right? I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your guy. I'm just a random black dude on the internet. I tell you this: everybody should own a home. Everybody. You lock in your rate. You know what your payment is every month. It builds consistency and it builds continuity in your income and your finances. Once you build up finances in your income, once you know, because you know what your rent's going to be, you know what your mortgage is going to be every month, right? I mean, it by show of hands in here, who rents over the last 5 years got a notification that their rent's going up? Raise your hand. When I was in the military, my troops would come to me and say, "Hey, my rent is going up. They're raising it. I almost got to move because it was $1,500. Now they said in 6 months from now it's going to be $2,500. They raised it $1,000 on me, right? Just so I show a hand and say, yeah, that happened to me because I know it's happening because rent rates go up, cost of living goes up, cars go up, insurance go up, gas go up, food goes up, rent goes up. But you know what stays the same? Your house payment. I don't give a damn what inflation you got going on. You might pay a little more in taxes, but you mean, come on, let's be real. So it's better to get an apartment. Man, you been listening to what I've been saying? It's better to get a home. Yes, I said everybody should get a home. And then a lot of people say, yo, man, I can't afford it. Nothing around me is affordable. Yeah, get a roommate, get some roommates. If it's not in California, and even some parts of California, you still can get a deal. That's the only place I can ever see it, right? Because I do a lot of research on real estate. Even New York City, you can get a deal, right? I had somebody the other day talking about, man, there ain't no deals in New York City. And I said, you know what? I never looked. I said, where is this at? Oh, that's like 15 minutes down the street. What is this? Oh, it's a duplex. What does it rent for? $3,000. Well, what's your payment to be? It says it right here, $1,400. So you can rent out one side for $1,500. You live in the other side for free, and you pretty much got a free house. I'm sure you can do this. Oh, I never looked in that area. It's 15 minutes from you. Why ain't you been looking? But everybody, you want to stay in downtown Manhattan? You damn nuts, man. You are nuts. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh my goodness. My stuff not strolling. Oh, okay. I guess I'm at the top. But how long have we been on here? How does it benefit you to have a roommate? Because they pay half your bills. My first property, I had 4 roommates. Actually, 3 roommates. I had a 4 bedroom. Okay. My PITA, property taxes, interest, and insurance. A 4 bedroom, 2 bath. I had my own bathroom. The other 3 guys shared a bathroom. My PITA, property taxes, interest, and insurance, or my house payment was nine. It was really 927, but I'll say 925. I always say 925 in my head. 925. They was paying me $500 a month apiece. 5 plus 5 is 1,500. Okay, 1,500 minus your 975, 9 and a quarter. Is $575. So I literally made $575 to live in this house. But this is where the game is. This is where the game is, people. If I wanted to, I can make $575 to live in this house. I paid my mortgage like a regular person. I took the $1,500, and then I put that in my pocket, and I invested the 1,500. Some people would look at the man, they're paying my rent, and I'm making $575 as a deal. I look at it as pay my own mortgage, invest the whole 1,500, almost like they're not even there. Now I'm pretty much 3 timing my growth. Some people will say, well, why would you do that? Simple-minded people don't drive the A train. Simple-minded people will never drive the head train. Just can't do it. They don't see it. Right? I'm already going to pay somewhere to live anyway, so just take it out of my pocket. It already comes out of my check. Don't care. They're going to give me 15, 500, 500, 500. Take $1,500, put it aside. Right? And then I almost act like I never got it. After 6, 7 months, I got another 7, 8 grand. Boom, buy another house. And that's how we do it. And that's how I grew. Now, if I did just the $500, then it would take me 3 years to buy another house. If I took their money and put it aside, then I could buy another house in 9 months. And that's how we do it, people. That's how you grow. That's how we grow. That's what you know. But I'm about to get off here. I got stuff to do. But if you found value in this, please make sure you're following, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're tuning in to all those platforms. YouTube does pay me to be here, so I appreciate you if you follow and watch there. But if you don't have time or you never got a chance to make it over there, that's fine. I host a webinar Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST. It's free. Come hang out, come join, and try to learn something. Hope you found value in some of this stuff, and wish you the best.